What's going on, everybody? It's been a little delayed, but we're happy to be here with you. It's the Duke Blue Devils. It's going to be Jeremy Roach, Tyrese Proctor, Mark Mitchell, Kyle Filipowski, and Ryan Young starting lineup for Duke, and for Kansas Jayhawks, it'll be Dajuan Harris, Gradey Dick, Kevin McCullar, Jalen Wilson, and KJ Adams. So we're finally get set to tip this one off. John here with you from Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Reason why we were delayed is because we had an absolute classic in between Michigan State and Kentucky, where they won in double overtime, did the Spartans. So now we're finally underway between number 7 Duke and number 6 Kansas. So glad you can join me here tonight for this game. Pass across for Duke, and the 3 is immediately airballed, and this is a chance left to right across the timeline for the Jayhawks to get their first possession. So right now for the Jayhawks, it's Dajuan Harris with the ball at the top of the key. Harris putting on a series of good moves. Going to pass this across to the small forward side of it for Kevin McCullar, and he's going to miss. Rebounded here by Jeremy Roach. Roach turning down the Jets, trying to get down the lane, puts it in off the glass, and Duke has the first basket of this contest again. It'd be hard-pressed for me to imagine that this game was going to be as good as the first one that we've seen, but between Duke and Kansas, it's always fun on that side. So Kevin McCullar passes this one across here to Dajuan Harris, and Gradey Dick's going to let this one go, and he's going to miss, and rebounded here by Duke Blue Devils. Duke Young going down the lane off the Euro step up the hook, and he makes it. So 4 straight baskets. That one was Kevin Filipowski. It's the 2. He's a freshman out of Westtown, New York. Gradey passes this one across. You're going to get it back. Picked up now by Kansas off the give and go. Collard's going to launch this one from the right wing side. He's going to knock one down. So Kansas gets on the board. It's 4-3 now. Both teams at 2-0 on the season. Both teams haven't really played anybody so far. So Kevin McCullar knocks down the 3 from the right wing. He's the former Red Raider Texas Tech transfer. Ryan Young will get this across, and there's going to be a foul against Roach, picked up by Kansas and Dajuan Harris. As you get a look at some of the coaches there on the side of it between Bill Self, and now I got to go ahead and say Jon Scheyer instead of Coach Krzyzewski. So a little bit of a situation. I don't think Bill Self is in the building tonight. From what I saw, the assistant coach is there for Kansas tonight. Filipowski has it at the top of the key. Gives it inside to Young. He's got it at 16 feet. And then pass across in the corner to Mark Mitchell, and he's going to travel with it. So it's going to be a turnover, and this is going to be Jayhawk basketball. So for the Duke Blue Devils, it is a pretty much freshman affair for the most part, except for Ryan Young, the senior, and then Jeremy Roach, the junior at point guard. Everyone else has got 3 starting freshmen in there, as you normally would. A lot of one-and-dones in between these two programs, as you would expect. Dajuan Harris will make this pass across. Picked up now by McCullars, and inside. This one gets knocked away between KJ Adams, and Ryan Young is going to pick up the foul here for Duke. So for KJ Adams, 6'7", sophomore center here for the Kansas Jayhawks. Again, a game-time decisions where Wilder Evans, Charlie McCarthy, and Cam Martin were the shoulder. So the other 2 were undisclosed. So we'll see if they end up getting some time. And on the McCullars inside to KJ Adams off the lob. And that looked pretty nice there as the Jayhawks take a 5-4 lead with 17-10 left to go in the first half. John out here with you from Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the State Farm Championship Classic. Glad we can do some college basketball as Roach gets denied at the rim, picked up by Young, and he lays it right in. 6-5 as the Blue Devils now have the lead. And I will go ahead and check in between the YouTube side and the Twitter Spaces side just in case anyone goes in. Long outlet 3 gets rebounded up right away with the quick outlet jump by Kansas. And that was picked up there by Jalen Wilson, the only starter that's returned there from the championship squad from last season. Duke trying to probe inside as Roach got knocked away. There was all kinds of contact. I think this is going to stay here with the Blue Devils. Again, early in the season right now, but it's a good opportunity here on the ESPN side. The game was supposed to start at 9:30 Eastern, if you can believe that. We're about a little bit of an hour late into it just because the Michigan State and Kentucky game went in double overtime when the Spartans won in an absolute classic. So Young, gonna pass this one. Roach gonna let this go for three. Up a good screen and roll, trying to get picked up by Young. But this could have been last dribbled off by his foot, and Filipowski as well. But this will stay with Duke one more time. They still have 20 seconds to work with on the shot clock. 7-6 your score. Trigger man for Duke as Roach has it now at the top of the key. Good matchup there from them. Trying to dribble around there, but they're going to say that he picked up his foot and traveled. So that one's going to go up against Jeremy Roach. So good defense there by Kansas and Gradey there to knock that one away as we finally get a look at Jon Scheyer. It does look a lot different seeing him rather than Coach Mike Krzyzewski, but he's been on the coaching staff with Mike for a long time, so this is his opportunity here to be able to make something happen. You expect he's going to take full advantage of it because you always have the recruits. So good jump shot there by Kansas and Wilson. Jalen Wilson, the power forward, has got 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting as the Jayhawks have a 9-6 lead. Roach will get this one out of the top of the key is Young. We'll get it now to Filipowski. Filipowski puts his head down, tries to drive to the rim. A good rebound there by Wilson to knock that one away and picked up now by McCullars. Goes back here to KJ Adams. Cross-court pass to McCullars from the left wing three this time. And both corners. He's knocked one down. 12-6 is Kevin McCullar Jr. 6 points on 2 of 2 from distance. So he's got as many as Duke has right now. Roach, he's having trouble with the ball. And that was knocked away there by Kansas. And I think we're going to get a quick timeout on the floor here as the Jayhawks have a 12-6 lead with 15-17 left to go in the first half. Jayhawks looking good. McCullar knocked down a three from both corners. 12-6, Jayhawks lead.
Problem. Hey, Kim. There. Same deal. Yeah. It's kind of our thing.
Oh, great deal. What if I'm new to AT&T?
Kim.
Oh, nice. Hey, but what about for existing?
Deal.
Is he okay?
It's not complicated. With AT&T, new and existing customers get our best deals on every smartphone.
Buying a home? Rocket Mortgage will cover 1% of your rate for the first year at no cost to you, saving you hundreds, even thousands, with Inflation Buster. That's more mini vacations, a lot more lattes, more date nights. Plus, if rates drop within 3 years of your home purchase, you get exclusive savings with refinance with Great Drop Advantage. That's more cash in your pocket. Save when you buy today and refinance tomorrow. Visit inflationbuster.com to get started.
This entire evening, this guest list has been painstakingly planned.
This is Burger Line, yeah, Chef.
Yes, it is.
Can we get a little gluten-free bread?
You donkey.
Make sure to go on Baba.
Would you like this autograph?
Go on. Here with us.
Put it now. This Friday. Isn't that like that?
I didn't see that coming.
Here's Friday. We are.
Before Kentucky, number 2 Gonzaga, Sunday at 7:30 on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by State Farm. The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. They added a banner at the fall. The defending national champion, Kansas Jayhawks, the 6th national championship in the program. It has been a while since anybody's been able to repeat. As national champions, you got to go back to Billy Donovan's Florida Gators back in 2000.
So last time we had a repeat national champion was 2006, 2007 in the Florida Gators. And that was a team that had Joakim Noah on it, honestly. So that was as long as it's been. Is Kansas now is in the action here with Duke. 12-6 lead. Shot off the inbound here by Duke, and that gets knocked away, picked up here by the Kansas Jayhawks, and they'll set this one back up with Dajuan Harris. He's got it at the Champions Classic logo just over midcourt right now. We're in Indianapolis, Indiana, the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Gradey going to pass this one over across to McCullars as he's got a couple of threes already, and this goes back to Dajuan Harris at the top of the key. It's going to be let go by KJ Adams, the center, and this gets knocked away there by Gradey. It's going to be last touched by Kansas, and there'll be Duke basketball here. 12-6 is still your score. 14:46 left to go in the first half. John here with you, and the latter game of the State Farm Champions Classic. We're a little hour late there because of the incredible game that we had between Kentucky and the Michigan State Spartans, where the Spartans took the win in double overtime. Now they're 2-1 on the season. Kentucky is 2-1. Jalen Blake's lost it. This is a chance for Gradey as he double clutches, draws the foul, scores the basket. And Kansas going to the line for an and one. So what they say about the freshman Gradey Dick, he's 6'8". He has got a hell of a jump shot, but he just showed you off the Euro step and the outlet pass when KJ Adams, he's able to double clutch through contact and finish at the rim, and being 6'8", that definitely helps. He went right at Mitchell, and he scored the basket anyway. So the free throw is up and good. So Gradey's got the and one. 15-6 is the lead for the Jayhawks right now. And we'll see what happens here for Duke, because you would imagine between the junior Jeremy Roach and the senior Ryan Young, that is not out there right now, normally at the center spot. That is your versatility that you would have as far as having some experience there. And letting that one go was Jacob Granderson, the 6'6" senior shooting guard. It was nothing but air, as Jon Scheyer has to look out. He's probably a little bit concerned early when you don't seem to have any of your jump shots fall in there for Duke, and not even hitting the rim. So Bobby Pettiford Jr., and off the bench right now, here for Kansas, is passed inside there for McCullar. Pettiford lost it. This is a fast break opportunity off the 3-on-2, but it was dribbled off the foot there by Duke and turned over. So Blue Devils not looking sharp right now, and it's Kansas's ball, and another opportunity to build and make this a double-digit lead. Just 13:44 left to go in the first. Again, it was a little bit of a far cry from the first contest because, yeah, Kentucky got up about 8-9 points, but then Michigan State would kind of stay in front. Right now, this has been decisively Kansas, although there's still plenty of time left to go in this game. So picked up now by the Jayhawks, as this is circled around the horn there for Pettiford. And Gradey lets one go. It goes short, gets picked up there by KJ Adams, and he scores the basket inside. Excuse me, with Wilson's help there. So 17-6. It's a 12-0 run for Kansas, and they already look pretty good early. So Duke, going to have to try to negate this 12-0 run going right to left across your timeline, as the starter Jeremy Roach is still out there. He's going to help get something going. Gaddison's going to launch one again. He's going to miss, and this is going to get picked up now by KJ Adams. So Kansas looking to continue that 12-0 run. They're 7 of 12 shooting. McCullar stuck on the left corner. He's going to try to probe inside the lane. The extra pass to Gradey gets knocked away. I think this might have just last touched off of Kansas, or they might have stepped out of bounds. It didn't go off of a Duke player. So this is Blue Devil basketball. We're going to see if there's going to be any substitutions on the floor right now. It's Kansas. I think they will get one in here right now. And for Jalen Schott, I believe that's going to come in there. So now Ryan Young and Filipowski is back on the court right now. He is the lengthy inside presence as Roach splits down the lane and lays it in. 17-8 now, negates a 12-0 run for Kansas, but Kansas still in a good spot. Jeremy Roach, 4 points and 2-4 shooting. He's got half the Blue Devils offense. Gaddison off the top of the key, gets guarded off there by Filipowski and has to go back to McCullar. Worked nice by Gaddison as it was a double. Kansas needs to move this basketball around. McCullar's going to shoot a right wing three. Hits it off the side of the backboard, picked up by the Jayhawks and saved. Got to let it go from distance, from about 30 feet out. And that was an air ball on the other way. So Wilson had to let it go under duress with the shot clock winding. So nobody's going to be too upset about him missing that one. It's still a 17-8 lead here for Kansas. And State Farm Champions Classic doubleheader. John out here with you from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the Duke Blue Devils and the Kansas Jayhawks. Duke's number 7, Kansas number 6, and the standings poll right now early as Kansas has a 17-8 lead with 11:50 left to go. Duke, we're going to move this around the horn as Gaddison needs his dribble. This is moved around by Proctor. Proctor is going to pick this one back up toward the top of the key, spin between his legs. Now he's going to have to step back. Might have got a piece of the arm, question mark, or no? Is that just going to be a offensive foul? Proctor doesn't like it. I think it's going to go against Kansas as Proctor was throwing out the arm, and then he was upset that he didn't get the call. And I think we're going to get a technical foul shot here for the Kansas Jayhawks. So I'm going to take another look at it right now. So Proctor going to step back. He's kicking out the foot as they normally would when you get toward the end of the shot clock trying to draw a foul. Scheyer doesn't like it on the other side as he's talking with the referees, but I would imagine that this is going to be a free throw, technical free throw for Kansas when we come back. We're going to take a break. 11:40 left in the first half. Kansas up 17-8 on Duke.
So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course, you didn't listen. You shot me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
Oh man, that's cool. Everybody overall shape.
She's a little shy right now. She understands she's being paid to.
Totally shy. A card comes in to the front.
Oh, Marty, come on, yes!
Are you goofing?
No! Yes!
I'm good at this.
Are you kidding me?
Is it for me?
Oh, can't wait to see what you got your mother.
The BMW Roadhome sales on that.
Receive at least $4,650 on select models now through November 3rd.
Welcome back. A very nice start for Kansas. Another look at the play. Proctor elevates for the jumper and comes down on the foot of Uday, is called for a flopping foul.
Yeah, and look, that's a point of emphasis. There's no more flop warning. It's an automatic technical foul. It's a Class B, which is 0.3. And so the officials are resolute in calling that.
Because we're going to get back into the action here. There's a foul going to be called on the floor, as we thought it should go against Duke. Kicking out the leg, Proctor. Scheyer is going to have something to say about it. We're going to try to get everything squared away right now before we get back into the official call. So Kansas at the free throw line shooting the technical free throw and they miss. So Wilson was a technical free throw man to be able to take it. It was missed. So you see a lot of Duke clapping on the other side as you would imagine. But Proctor kicked out his foot toward the Kansas defender. And Jon Scheyer didn't like that he didn't get the call on the other side and try to draw a three, kind of foul before shot clock ended. And that was a situation that he found herself in. So 17-8 now. Kansas with the lead. Kansas with the basketball. So we got the technical free throw squared away. And we're back into the official call. 11:30 left to go in the first half. Kansas going to try to lob this one to Gradey. So the 6'7", 6'8" guard has a chance. Not only can he shoot, they're looking for him at the rim. So if Gradey Dick's going to be able to have some up and be able to shoot the ball like that, then that's going to be a lot for Kansas to enjoy because that's the freshman there. And they're already looking at him at the rim and for threes. Gaddison will let the three-point shot go. He's been off throughout the rest of this game so far, even though we're just underway. 0 for 3 from the bench, all from distance. So Kansas will get a chance now for Wilson. Pocket pass into Gradey. Double clutches! Lays it in! Wow! We've seen some athletic moves there from the shooting guard. And now picked up here by Duke. Roach back on the floor right now. He's got that the State Farm Champions Classic logo. Gets the screen there. Gaddison Roach trying to get around. Picked up as the ball is moved around the horn here by the Blue Devils. Trying to probe and jump stop the way inside. Putting the head down is Dereck Lively. And I think this foul will go against Kansas Jayhawks. That will be Wilson. That is his first. So the previous replay is a Euro underneath the basket double clutch reverse by Mr. Gradey Dick as he lays that one in. So I haven't got a chance to see the jump shooting too much, but if he can do all that, he's already had a Euro step and one in a reverse underneath the basket for two very difficult finishes for 5 points right now as the shooting guard stays out there, number 4. So going to have to take a look at this guy throughout the season and see how well he continues here for Kansas, because there's a lot of promise here for Gradey, and we'll see if he can deliver on it. So Bobby Pettiford now off the bench here for Kansas. He's the backup shooting guard. Air ball across on the other side, saved there by McCullar. Another shot here for Kansas, and off the side of the backboard again as Gradey tried to almost save this, and picked up here by Proctor. Proctor turns on the Jets. Cross pass gets deflected. Lively double clutches. He's going to draw the foul. Go to the line. That'll go against McCullar. That'll be his first. Again, you get 5 in college basketball. So McCullar picks that one up. McCullar's been pretty good from the corner so far, as he's 2 of 3 from distance. And you get a chance to see Duke here. With all these other freshmen, you can throw Lively in that same category as he knocks down first. Make it 19-11 your score. With about 10-12 left to go in the first half. John here with you on the call from Gainbridge Fieldhouse and the State Farm Champions Classic. This is game numero dos of the night. In between Duke and Kansas, as the free throw pair is split. It was Kentucky and Michigan State, and an absolute classic to open it in double overtime where the Spartans won. Duke trying to probe this basketball away as this goes back there to Broussard, and he's going to make the extra pass across, but it got deflected away there by Jalen Proctor. And it's going to stay with the Jayhawks. So I will go ahead as we go in and get some of these other rosters in front of me that we can actually see a little easier than what I have tipped off in front of me for my pregame notes. So Proctor, pass across, McCullar. McCullar tries to lob this one in there to Yesufu. That got knocked away. Here's a transition opportunity. Out of control is Duke. And now he's going to get called for the offensive foul, and they got to hold back Jalen Blakes because he's heated. But he was jumping out of control like Russell Westbrook. And Scheyer on the other side is having some words with the referee. And I understand that you want to be able to back your players. I think Harris might have actually drawn the charge there very nicely, sliding just over the last minute. That did go against Duke. But that was a little bit out of control on the other side there for chance for Duke. So this is picked up now by Kansas. Gradey has the ball knocked away. He's going to be able to go on the backcourt. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. As he's going to bring this up there to the top of the key. And the pass again, as McCullars from the Gradey Dick pass gets knocked away. 9-12 left to go in the first half. It's 19-11 Kansas. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. So let me give you a little bit of a reset once we get some time as far as from the point totals, and pass gets knocked away again. It's 4 points for Jeremy Roach, 2 for Filipowski, 2 for Young, 2 for Jalen Blake right now that we can see. In Kansas has 6 for Jalen Wilson, 6 for Kevin McCullar, 5 for Gradey Dick, and 2 for KJ Adams. Going to be the trigger man here. Gradey's going to let this go from mid-range off the step back, missed it all. And now Roach with the extra pass with the ball in transition. And this is going the other way again. Stepping in again to take the charge, back-to-back opportunities is the Kansas Jayhawk defense. And every single time is Yesufu took the contact. Every single time that Duke was trying to get something going in transition, And Yesufu had his feet set more than the previous one that went the other way. So great job there for the Kansas Jayhawks to play some excellent defense. 4 made field goals, 6 turnovers here for the Blue Devils. As Ryan Young will check back in. Adams thought he had McCullars there, but he threw it at a ghost and turns that one over. So bad turnover there for Kansas, but a couple worse turnovers there for Duke off some charges. Still 19-11 your score, Jayhawks with the advantage right now. So Roach has it at the top of the key, give inside to Ryan Young. Young looking to put that big body to use off the jump step, gets the friendly roll. It's now 19-13 again with Young. You'd have to imagine Duke has 3 different 7-footers that they can employ in this game alone. So it seems like Kansas's tallest player, when I'm going and doing the rosters, at 6'8". There's a slashing opportunity for KJ Adams as the red carpet was rolled out, and that was an easy finish. 21-13 your score. There's a chance for Roach off the floater, and he answers right back. 21-15. Jeremy Roach, 6 points on 3 of 5. Pettiford has it at the top of the key. Try to give to McCullar. He's got Young on him. Goes back to Pettiford. Pettiford probing his way off a pass. McCullar thought about the 3. Got Young to jump. He makes the floater. And he lost his footing, and he still scores it. 23-15. We'll see if McCullar's tweaked his back a little bit there as far as all of that. I think we're going to get another media timeout. 23-15. We come back. Hopefully he is okay. He should be shooting the free throw. He lost his footing there as he got Young to go up in the air. If he made the floater, we'll see if he actually lost his shoe. He didn't lose a shoe there, but he jumped right in and then might have bumped knees, might have been part of his back. But he's going to have an and one opportunity when we come back. Jayhawks in front.
Only at Zales, the diamond store.
A breakfast croissant plus seasoned potatoes for $3, and they're redshirting you?
It's just a standard work shirt.
Hey, let's stay humble, man.
Thank you, Reggie.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
So tomorrow I should be back with you, hopefully a little bit earlier time. But again, the way when you have the Champions Classic and everything set up there, you have to wait for the game to finish before the next team can take the floor. So it's just the way it is. So I should have Gonzaga and Texas. So the Bulldogs against the Longhorns at 9:30 Eastern tomorrow. That was when this game was slated to start, but we started closer to 10:30 because of the double overtime against Michigan State and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring. Aura.
I don't like to spend a ton of time shopping, but I like to look good. For me, Proctor makes that so easy.
It's been enjoyable so far, though. I know I said that from the hockey game yesterday, and I apologize for repeating that word. But in the sense of getting a chance to cover the first college basketball game of the season and get more top 25 action with Gonzaga and Texas tomorrow. Should be a couple good college basketball assignments before I might have something on the way a little bit toward this week. So if it goes through my Saturday assignment, which would be a late hockey assignment or maybe something early with Cooper Hopkins, I'm not going to be able to get to that on Saturday, but I will be with you here tomorrow. And then we'll try to get Cooper Hopkins on the Thursday call. I'll get in touch with him tomorrow just in case we can do Tampa Bay and the Calgary Flames tomorrow. But another college basketball assignment here for me tomorrow. So I appreciate anyone that follows along on the Twitter Spaces side or the YouTube side here tonight. We'll get back underneath the action, and I will put my handles on the side of it just in case anyone ever wants to follow along. So it's 7:53 left to go in the first half. Kansas got a 23-15 lead over the Duke Blue Devils. It's number 6 Jayhawks against the number 7 Blue Devils right now. So McCullar at the line for the and one opportunity off the break. He can't finish it, as now this goes to Duke, and they get an opportunity. As McCullar made the floater, he drew the and one. He couldn't finish the and one part of it. So Young across here for Roach. Roach is going to get a lot of time here as the junior starter here for Duke. He's going to be one of those guys that has the experience alongside with Young. And is this going to be another offensive foul? And it's the third straight charge against the Duke Blue Devils. And Tyrese Proctor's got no points and 2 fouls. So Kansas, their defensive opportunity is we're going to get in the lane. We're going to draw the charge. We're going to make sure that you can't get going at the rim. That's clearly the defensive side that they see right now against Duke. And it's working. So Kansas will move this from the top of the key. Got at the State Farm Champions logo. McCullar going to drive the lane. He's going to get knocked away, and this will get picked up here by the Blue Devils. Lets it go as Roach for 3, missing off the front of the rim. Ryan Young skies for the rebound. Gets it knocked away. Gets it back. And draws the foul. So he's going to go to the line for a chance at 2. But again, the way college basketball is, it's a 1-and-1 side of it. So Sunday, it'll be Kentucky and Gonzaga. Kentucky is going to have to bounce back from the loss they took against the Michigan State Spartans to open this tournament. And then we will see Gonzaga in action tomorrow against the Texas Longhorns. So Young makes the first free throw. So they're showing the best big man in college basketball. We'll look at the names quickly. Oscar Tshiebwe, Drew Timme, Armando Bacot, Zach Edey, Hunter Dickinson, Trace Jackson Davis. And we'll see if any of those other Duke players will be on there as we go along throughout the year. 7 minutes left to go in the first half right now as Pettiford will bring this across the timeline. Duke has it with McCullar at the top of the key. Gets a screen. Chance here to launch the 3 from the side of it, and this is picked up here by Young. Young going to dribble down the lane, try to take it himself, and it was knocked away. Here's a fast break opportunity. They have Gradey, but McCullar is going to Euro step and lay it right in as nobody picked him up. It was a fast break opportunity anyway. Wilson's going to get credit for that basket, so Wilson makes it. And some contact there as the hands got up in the face. I think this one will go against McCullar. That will be his second. So got to be careful down on that side. So Wilson was able to be the beneficiary off of some beautiful defense there by McCullar. And it was Pettiford that left it there for Wilson, and he laid it right in. 25-17. So Roach at the top of the key now, going against Gradey. Pass inside to Young. Instead, he's going to shoot the 3 ball and knock it down. So Ryan Young is going to make the basket there, 25-20. 6:05 left to go in the first. Pettiford. Now to Gradey. Nice jump stop to get his man to jump in the air. That was a butter-looking shot from 18 as he cans it 27-20 now. 5:50 left to go in the first. Roach. Here's a chance for Young. Picked up now by Duke as they have the shooting guard side of it. And again, I'm going to pull up the rest of my rosters here on the other side to make sure I got it. So Young's pass gets deflected away. Nice work there by McCullar. He's waiting at the top of the key. Young is on him, trying to jump stop his way across. I think he shuffled his feet. Traveling violation. That's going to go against the Jayhawks. 27-20 still your score. It's going to be Dookie basketball here. So McCullar with 8 right now. Jalen Wilson with 6. Gradey Dick with 5. KJ Adams with 4. Not everything has been updated right now, but just trying to give you some point totals. 5:25 left to go in this first half. It's a 27-20 lead for the Jayhawks. Picked up now by Gaddison. And he traveled with his feet. So Duke has just not been comfortable with the basketball as Scheyer. I think all he could do is laugh right now. Again, he can't really say anything to the referees because it's like 4 charges and then, 3 travels, lots of turnovers there, upspin of passes. It's been great defense here by Kansas. That's why they're up 27-20. They've already forced Duke to turn over the ball 9 times. Gradey going to make the pass here to Pettiford. Pettiford getting the screen there from Adams. Pass inside. All kinds of contact. and he was able to knock it away was Filipowski. Look up ahead, blocked from behind twice. What an offensive sequence there by the Jayhawks as the ball is loose on the floor and saved. Unbelievable effort there. Pettiford with the lob to KJ. And that one goes the other way out of bounds. Man, oh man, was that special. Two wide open fast break opportunities, and the Jayhawks knocked both of them away. 4:35 left to go in the first 7 blocks for Kansas and 3 charges as they get the steal. Here come the Jayhawks, but the pass is too far, and the referee runs into the crowd as everybody just needs to take a breather right now. There has been all sorts of defensive action, but it's going one way. Kansas blocking shots, Kansas drawing fouls off the charges. This is exceptional defense right now as Duke looks a little discombobulated on the O side. Roach, bounce pass inside. That was very forced. And Filipowski, and the finish on the other way. That one by Mark Mitchell as he throws it down. So Pettiford, he's going to try to get the isolation. He's got Young on him on that side. A lot of size. See if he can drive right by McCullar. Now to Gradey Dick. He's going to shoot from 16 off the front of the rim, and Filipowski will get the rebound. So Jeremy Roach gets the screen, gets down the lane, knocked away, picked up here by Filipowski, and now centered around the horn to the left wing side. Proctor's got 2 fouls, so he's probably not going to go ahead and play the rest of this half. And Jeremy Roach in through the trees gets the and one opportunity as he drives to the left wing side. And now Duke could get within 2 if they make this free throw. Timeout on the floor. 3:39 left to go in the first half. It's been all defense, but it's still a 2-point game. Duke going to try to get within 2, 27-25. Come right back.
She's about to find out you can't beat a map. Sonic steak, butter, bacon, cheeseburger. Sonic.
Took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa. A right at Baja. A 180 in the empty quarter. And that 65-degree incline to Hell's Revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
A Corona and palm trees. A Corona and calm seas. And a bomb breeze.
And some long knees, strong like a tongue squeeze. You'll say, "Oh, geez," when I make your lawn freeze. Was that good?
No. It was incredible.
Oh.
Really bad.
Oh.
But this is good. I shouldn't have happened.
Where's Lucky? I know he's around somewhere.
Magic James, you are the spot with the rainbow sparkles, buckets in the dark.
There's Lucky! No!
No, Magic Gems. They're magically delicious.
It all started when we showed up in Austin, waving a Wazoo flag. Then it kind of became an obsession. After 15 years, game day finally came to Washington State. Now we keep doing it because game day isn't just a day, it's a lifestyle.
This game is football as well as the Seth Greenberg G halftime report coming up. Sparty took double overtime. He'll stumbled around for a while, but pulled it out. Duke's starting to find his footing.
I'm talking about the stumbling halftime. Playing against Kansas in the 5-out offense, it puts a lot of pressure on the defensive discipline. Duke is now all of a sudden 7 games to be up with communicate on that spread offense.
Yes, I thought early on Duke was too much one-on-one, not enough passing, only one assist in this game. You got to get downhill, make the extra pass, and get some easier looks at the basket.
Okay, I'm just trying to set anything up here for the weekend side, so if I had to look away from any of the things, I apologize. Jason Tatum Former Duke forward Jason Tatum is here, and also plenty of NBA general managers is looking on between the State Farm's Champions Classic because you never know where these guys are going to end up being drafted, especially between these two programs. We always expect, even like we had in between Kentucky and Michigan State. You got to look at some of these guys and these prospects as Pettiford will make the pass across. Picked up now Wilson. Wilson back to Pettiford. Pettiford trying to use the screen. This is going to be a kick ball. This will stay here with the Jayhawks. 3:25 left to go in the first half. John out here with you from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Both teams ice cold from 3. 2-11 are the Jayhawks. 1 of 8 are the Duke Blue Devils. Triggerman inside. Picked up now Pettiford. Has it with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock, and now we have an offensive foul going the other way. So Duke will have an opportunity here to tie this game at 27, or if outright take the lead, as Kansas will be able to get more of their changes right now. As they're going to run at least, I would think, 9 or 10 players. Same thing here for Duke. There are a lot of injuries that we can talk about here for Kansas on the other side. A couple game times and several outs that maybe kind of test some of the depth here, and we'll see how that is going forward. But again, it is early in the season. So Filipowski going to shoot the 3. This time he's going to miss this one. Pass gets knocked away. Reservoir, and then it's going to stay with Kansas. So 27-25. Kansas ranked number 6 to start the year at 2-0. Duke at 7 at 2-0. Both teams have yet to really play anybody, so this is the first primetime matchup that we get a chance to watch these two teams. KJ Adam with the screen there for Pettiford. Nicely off the glass. It uses the window. 29-25 on that layup. 2:40 left to go in the first half. Filipowski puts his hand down, trying to draw the foul. And did Kansas get another charge? Yes, they did. That is their 5th drawn charge, and they have 8 blocks. So this defense has been absolutely incredible. So shorthanded or not, this could honestly be one of the best defensive efforts that I've seen. 7 points and 2 fouls on Filipowski. So we'll see how that ends up going because you can only get 5 again in college basketball. Pass as this goes for Wilson from the mid-range side, and yes, he makes it from 14. So Kansas lead back up by 6. Jalen Wilson, 10 points, 5 and 9. Again, he's the only really returning starter that is back there from the championship Jayhawks team from last year. Jeremy Roach has played every minute so far. Pass across for Blakes. He misses a jump shot, trying to get picked up there. Blake's going to get an easy lay-in. 31-27 as the pass from Filipowski will connect to give an easy lay-in. And now here's a chance for Kansas to get things going once more as Pettiford has the top of the game looking for the lob inside. And Zuby Ejiofor makes it count. 33-27 now with $1:35 left to go in the first. Roach gets this one for Gaddison. He's going to shoot from 18. He has been off from everywhere right now. Might want to get the ball out of his hands. 33-27 is the score. Picked up now by Pettiford. He's going to take his time with 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Going to give this one to GD. Gradey has got it now. Pass this back to Pettiford. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Pettiford with the Euro. Here's a chance for Wilson from the 3 side. Nice effort there by Gradey to try to knock that one away, so he's not afraid to throw that body around. Here's a chance for a quick 3, and it's stuck off the top of the rim. So we're going to need that broomstick. But again, there's a lot of 7-footers on the Duke side, so they can go ahead and pick up that basketball. As we get a final timeout in the final minute of the first half, 58 seconds left to go in it. Kansas with a 33-27 lead. We'll see what happens as we get close to ending the first half.
Even the third, we learn from mistakes. But when it comes to retirement planning, who can afford mistakes? Smart Asset can help you avoid those unpleasant mishaps with a free guide to 7 crucial mistakes of retirement planning. We also match you with up to 3 vetted fiduciary financial advisors who can help you achieve your retirement goals. Using Smart Asset is free with no obligation. Discover what others learned the hard way at smartasset.com. Now let's take a look at Kansas. They're going to get a little ball screen here, then another one from their second big guy. Come around, and all of a sudden you're going to be able to lob it up to the bucket. So here's the second ball screen in the middle of the floor. You got Ejiofor. You just throw it right up. There's no weak side help because it's right in the middle of the floor. And that middle third of the floor, if Kansas keeps attacking there, I think they're going to continue to get some good things. Putting Duke in a position to have to hedge on that screen and then pick up the roll man at the same time. Otherwise, the one area.
KU looking good on the made baskets, 11 assists on the 15 made field goals. And they got a chance right now with Pettiford to bring this left right across the timeline. Gradey got him now back to Pettiford at the top of the key. Being worked against Roach. Gets the screen there from Ejiofor. Draws a Gradey's wide open on the right wing side. He missed it all. And that's rebounded there by Jeremy Roach. You could not get an even better look in the sense that he already made a reverse in it and one off the Euro step. So you'd imagine he's going to make those because his mid-range looked good. He just missed an open three, but it happens. So shot clock and game clock about a 10-second difference. And a timeout for Jon Scheyer just to make sure to get everything else set up here for Duke. So it should be final possession time here once Duke takes this shot and Kansas will get another opportunity. 23.3 seconds left to go in the first half. Kansas got a 33-27 lead.
He seems comfortable in the transition, doesn't he? He's built for this. I mean, Dajuan was a great player at Duke. Not a good player. He's one of the all-time greats at Duke. You mentioned the 2010 NCAA championship where he's captain. He's been on Coach K's staff for 9 years. Last year was named the head coach at Duke University. I mean, he's built for this. And he's got a great demeanor. He's great with the players, and he's proven to be a spectacular recruiter.
Great class this year, great class next year. Chris Carrawell on the staff as the associate head coach of Neil Jefferson.
23.3 seconds left to go in the first half. John, I'm here with you. Kansas got a 33-27 lead. It's Duke basketball right now as Roach has played the entire first half. Is going to go all the way down the lane. He's going to draw the foul. So this time, a drive down the lane doesn't induce a block or a charge on the other end, as Kansas's defense has been absolutely terrific, and that's why the score is 33-27. How about 8 blocks and 5 charge calls already induced? Is Jeremy Roach looking for points 10 and 11? He's 4 of 9. Is the junior from the Blue Devils as he makes the first free throw. Getting a chance to make it 33-29 is Jon Scheyer, just making sure he's going to get that defense set. And Kansas will get another opportunity here as Jeremy Roach with his second wooden preseason top 50. Roach is good on the second, so it's 33-29. Shot clock turned off. Jayhawks got last possession of the first half. This is Bobby Pettiford going left right across the radio dial. He's going to take his time. This will be another opportunity here for Dajuan Harris. On the other side is Harris. We'll leave this here for Pettiford. He's got to go quickly off the front of the rim, rebounded up in the air, and that's off, and that will end the first half. It's an entertaining first half. Kansas got a 33-29 lead, and when we come back, we will call second half action momentarily. Stay tuned.
Well, we just got stops. You know, at the beginning of the game, we didn't get many stops. But we were a little nervous at offensive start. So we settled in the game. After all that, it's a 4-point game.
I'm going to flip over to the Red Wings game on this side while this is in the half, just to get things squared away for myself, because it's my late write-up after this game is done with the late game. This game might actually end by the time the college basketball game ends. And I was anticipating being able to watch this as I typed up the first assignment. So that's the way it goes sometimes. I will pull up the ESPN box score as well. because I think there is a few other stats that I want to take care of.
On his 23rd birthday last week, scored his first goal this season. Not only was it shorthanded, but it was shorthanded on his first career penalty shot. Pretty good. Wow, on your birthday, that's a moment, isn't it? Yeah, it's outstanding. That game against Florida. Ducks, their last game at a 2-0 lead Saturday over Chicago. They were out shooting the Hawks 16-1. They still lost the game 3-2, third straight loss. They've not won in regulation this season. 4 wins, 2 in overtime, 2 in the shootout. Sider ties up his man. And Sherrod checks Silver. Back it comes from Fowler, floated one wide. In goes Klingberg. Is knocked away by Kopp. Aaron pass there, held in by Fowler, and the shot off the stick of Max Jones got blocked. Now the Red Wings leg exit the zone on the stick of Ernie. Klingberg backhand put around for Fowler. Wright's got it. He's had that puck hit him up high on the goal by Berggren. I never had possession, so the play continued. Berggren scoring the power play. Setting up is Roach. Has an assist on Berggren's goal. Milano with good speed. Up along with Suter and Berggren. Pass to Berggren just over his stick. Brand moves it. Red Wings close down the center. Backhanded it deep Sider on his back. Gave it up at the line. Off the stick of Zegras. Back for Benwall. Zegras and Milano. Got help there from Troy Terry. Terry's got it again. Terry, Klingberg shooting it is wide. Troy Terry up high with it. Chased up high by Sider, who stays with Terry. Zegras' shot, get a body in front. Puck still loose. Anaheim control. Klingberg, Zegras, back in front, can escape. Zegras has diving play. Kept it alive. Klingberg up by Milano, but an outlet here. Sider on the move. 1-on-4. Sider gets up in the middle of the top of Dajuan. Coughing is coming. Cleared ahead to Zegras, who's able to make the play. Look at the back check coming back. Off the change, Jake Wallman with a good defensive play. Just under 12 to go in period 2, late off-season edition. Dominic Kubalik has a hot start, as you know. We'll put it into an historical perspective after this.
This is supersonic Wi-Fi for extended fans. So maybe with your easy has never felt more intense. What does this button do?
Welcome to the fastest internet on the largest speed network.
Are you trying not to
A little.
Only from Xfinity. Unbeatable internet makes do anything, so you can do anything.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job. So you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. GM employees with current eligible Chevy lease can use $500 Chevy Cyber Cash to get this Silverado for $289 a month. Chevy drives at your speed. ChevyDetroit.com. The NBA is back and the fan duel this season's looking better than ever.
Because right now, new customers get a no sweat first bet and get up to $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. Plus, all customers get 3 months of NBA League Pass with a $5 bet from America's #1 sportsbook. That's right. Not only do you get no sweat first bet, you can also watch NBA League Pass on us. Make everyone more FanDuel.
First meeting this season against Anaheim, Dominic Kubalik with 6 shots, a goal, and 3 points back on October 23rd. Well, all that is part of his multi-point games for the first 15 with the Red Wings since 1980.
Damn.
It's
No, man,
good
hosted.
company. Your first games with the team. Dominic Kubalik, our Chevy's strongest player of the game. Raymond stopped by Fowler first try. Hand pass will be called there. Knocked ahead by Dmitry Kulikov. And a touch by the Treno.
Make you mention Kulik. Because of all the signings this summer, if I was the one, you can talk about that. Very good player, scored 30 goals in a season. Had a pretty good year last year. But it's a great pickup. Just a beautiful signing by Steve Eisner. A big player that can score and is young. And I love what he's done and a very smart, intelligent offensive player at the same time. It's a great sign.
Not qualified by Chicago, but unqualified success with Detroit. He and Suter.
Just getting some stats in here as we're waiting for this next game to start.
MVPs. At the age of 19, Suter was the MVP prior to coming to the NHL.
So what we have here is the. I get the recorder back on for this part of it. So what we have here for first half part of the stats, it's a 33-29 lead for the Kansas Jayhawks. Kyle Filipowski for Duke's got 7 points and 5 boards. Jeremy Roach, 11 points, 4 for 9 shooting, played the entire first half. And for Kansas, it's Jalen Wilson with 10 points. Kevin McCullar with 8 points, 4 rebounds. And the KU defense, how about this? 7 blocks. KJ Adams with 2, McCullar with 2, Uday Jr. with 2, and Harris with 1. And they've also drawn 5 charges or offensive fouls combined. That's why it's a 33-29 lead for the Kansas Jayhawks over the Blue Devils right now. So we'll see if that continues to be the same kind of trend, because it's been absolute good defense there on both sides, but especially here for Kansas.
He stumbled. Got some help there from Rasmussen into the next zone. Austin Strand. Corona moved in on Pablo Regenda. Behind the net for David Perron. Centering one. Oh, and a great chance for Southwest, who had one in the first period, too.
Oh, man.
Back in by Vetrano, who dropped it back.
Just going to make sure on this ESPN side if anything works, and we'll flip back to our.
Hi, I'm Cindy. What?
Battle Vision Storm. And they're not just for storms. They turn night to bright, even in perfect weather. Blinding sunlight or headlights cut the glare instantly. Dark traffic signs, see them with confidence. Blurry lane markers, turn clear and visible. Wow! Even objects in your side and rear view mirrors are easier to see. And Battle Vision Storm go head-to-head with the toughest conditions. Whether you're driving through smoke-filled air from wildfires, or you're on a boat getting crushed by the sea, and they're guaranteed for life. Get your Battle Vision Storm for only $19.99. But wait, there's breaking news. Battle Vision Storm may be discontinued due to rising costs and supply chain shortages. Battle Vision Storm is shutting down and stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There's a strict limit of 4 Battle Vision Storm per order.
So while we're waiting for the halftime to concede here, it's 33-29. Kansas with the lead over Duke. Let me go around the league here as far as some of these other scores. Let's start here with the NHL that I like to do here. So we'll pick this up here in a second. So there's only a couple games that are really in progress right now. One of them pertains to me as far as the Red Wings and the Ducks. That's 1-1 with 9:17 in the second, and Sharks Golden Knights also tied at 1. Just about that same side. We have a few finals to work our way through. So the Preds got a 2-1 win over the Wild. Wild fall to 7-7-2. Preds 7-8-1 of the season. Blue Jackets, they get a big win over the Philadelphia Flyers. They improved to 5-9-1. Flyers fall to 7-6-3. Lightning continued their little bit of their push. They get a 5-4 overtime win as Alex Killorn scores in OT. They beat the Stars 5-4. Stars get a point. Penguins, they lose 5-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs as the Maple Leafs continue to try to surge through the Atlantic. It is the Devils all over the Canadians tonight. They're 13-3 on the season. I think they've won 10 straight games now. 5-1 they win, and the Panthers destroy the Caps 5-2. They go to 9-6-1 in the season. The Caps still banged up. They fall to 7-9-2, and the Canucks edge the Sabres. And the lovely start there for the Buffalo Sabres has gone by the wayside as they're 7-9. The Canucks improved to 5-9-3. Let's go to our NBA scoreboard this evening. Just a couple finals to tell you about. Not a lot of NBA games here tonight. 118-111. The Jazz lose another one. Knicks improved to 7-7. Jazz fall to 10-6. They're 5-1 at home. It was their first loss at home. Mavs edge the Clippers as Doncic had another big night. They win 103-101. Pelicans beat the Grizz without Zion, 113-102. Grizz fall to 9-6. Pelicans improved to 8-6. Kings destroying the Brooklyn Nets, 81-59. As we're going into the fourth quarter, and the Spurs holding onto a small lead, or the Trailblazers, I should say, holding onto a small lead over the Spurs, 72-67, with about 9 minutes left to go in the third. See if we can give you any other college basketball scores to speak of. Let me pull this back around here as I clicked on the wrong pickup part. So there we go. This will probably, let's go to the top 25. So our game's 33-29 after the first half. Kansas with the lead over Duke. It's 41-29. Alabama against South Alabama. Crimson Tide with the lead. Michigan State in the Absolute Classic, and the first of the State Farm Champions Classic. They won in double overtime over Kentucky, 86-77. UConn beat Buffalo, 84-64. North Carolina just edged Gardner-Webb. Should have been a lot more. 72-66. San Diego State beat Stanford, 74-62. Let's see if there's any other scores to tell you about. Dayton Flyers. It's a 9-7 lead as they're really underway against University of Las Vegas. I'm just going through Division I here to see if there's any other ones to tell you about here tonight, but pretty solid night here on both sides. Appalachian State beat Louisville. They improved to 3-0 in the season. An interesting stat I saw for Louisville on the other side, they're one of the first teams in several years, I would go back 30, 40 years, that have lost each one of their games by one. They lost 61-60 tonight. Quinnipiac's 4-0 on the season. They down Dartmouth 81-72. Miami beat Florida and A&M. They're 3-0 on the season. Clemson beat South Carolina Upstate 81-70. Eastern Michigan got destroyed by Bradley, so he started 1-0 on the season, lost the next 2 games. And we'll go back through more of it if we get some time.
Well, Kansas did a really good job. They turned it over to us, but they did a good job when they got into some of those middle third of the floor pick and rolls because they were able to eliminate some weak side help and were able to get to the basket as a result. You can see the screen being set up top right in the middle of the floor. They had them able to just roll right to the basket, catch it. There's nobody there for the weak side help in order to keep it from.
Again, full coverage of this game is going to follow. HopefulSportsGuide.wordpress.com. This is going to be my assignment for tonight, and then tomorrow will be Gonzaga and Texas, as that'll get underway on that side. Because we're just going to be getting ready to go for the second half of a 33-29 score. So Duke's got the ball. They're going to go left to right. This Filipowski will put this one toward top of the key. The screen there is Duke's got the ball. Jeremy Roach back out there. He's played the entire game so far. Filipowski, extra pass there to Roach, gets the pump fake on Gradey. Going to fall from 16, and Jeremy Roach going to knock that one down. That's exactly what they need right now for Duke. And we'll see what ends up happening as Duke is back within 2. That's Tyrese Proctor that got his first basket. He's got 3 fouls, so he had to sit the majority on that first half. Again, 2 more, and he's gone. Wilson going to hook this one, and this will be picked up now by Filipowski. Give this now to Proctor. Proctor putting his head down. He's going to draw the foul with the help of Jeremy Roach. 33-31 your score. Jayhawks lead by 2. It's because of their defense that they lead by 2 because they had 7 blocks in the first half, and they also had 5 charges or offensive foul calls in their favor on the side of it. So their defense is why they're up by 2. Roach has it now, putting his head down, trying to draw the foul, but I think this may stay with Duke. This will go against Kansas. 19:06 left to go in the second half. John Under with you from Gainbridge Fieldhouse from Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a pair of number 6 team and the Kansas Jayhawks, number 7 team and Duke that are both 2-0 on the season. So one of these unbeatens will go down so far early in the year. But I get a chance to see some rotations and the way things might look. Good pass inside by Filipowski, but a good knockaway there by Kansas. And Kansas is going to be called for the foul. This is going to go up against McCullar. That'll be his 3rd. And they got to be careful there on that side because he's been pretty good from distance. He's hit a 3 from both corners. He's kind of done a little bit of everything. It was Adams inside and the jump pass. And to be honest with everybody, I'm not really sure where the foul was going to be. So Mitchell is going to make the first. He's got an opportunity for one more. So Mitchell, that's his first point of the game right now. He's got 2 rebounds and 2 fouls. So he splits the pair. So 1 point, 2 rebounds, 2 fouls. As this gets picked up now by the Kansas Jayhawks. Pass across McCullar on the left wing side. He's working against Filipowski, and this goes back to Wilson at the top of the key. Gets a screen there by Adams. Wilson trying to go through the contact, and he lays it in anyway. 35-32 now. Jayhawks up by 3. Again, Jalen Wilson, the only returning starter from their championship team. He's got 10-plus points in each of his last 19 and 23 games. Turnover, fast break opportunity, and it's laid right in. So good opportunity there for Kansas off the fast break and the steal, and the outlet pass there by Adams makes it 37-32 now. Jayhawks back up by 5. Gradey trying to get around a screen, and Proctor will launch from 12. He's going to knock that one down, so Jalen Proctor makes it 37-34 now. This is picked up by the Jayhawks. Wilson lost his dribble, so he's got to give it back to the point side, and we'll see what ends up happening. Dumped inside with the extra pass, Adams. Now to McCullar. McCullar is going to shoot from 18 over the outstretched defense. Nice rebound pickup there by Harris. Harris. Now McCullar gets it back to Harris. Right wing side. He's left all alone. And this goes off the front of the rim. And this is going to be Duke basketball. So they get an opportunity to either get in within one or tie it right now. Because I'm going to take this other part of the box score down because I like having my notes from the first and last names just in case we get any changes. So Duke left right across the timeline now with Jeremy Roach. Now to Filipowski. Picked up now by Proctor. Proctor at 18 feet. He's going to go back in there to Roach. Now Filipowski inside to Gradey. Dick almost gets it knocked away there by Uday. And a foul is going to be called. This one's going to get picked up by Gradey. That'll be his second. 37-34 still your score. 17:06 left to go in the second half. Again, both teams 2-0 so far in the season, but to be fair, both teams have really not played anybody. So this gives an opportunity for everybody on the ESPN side, where I'm broadcasting here today, get a chance to see what these teams would look like. So Kyle Filipowski going to go to the line for the 1-and-1, and he makes the first. So 8 points and 6 rebounds. Again, another free throw coming here. Duke is loaded with a lot of freshmen per usual, but now it's head coach Jon Scheyer, as I believe Jalen Blakes will get a chance to check in. Filipowski got another one coming. So far on the season, 12.5 points and 11 rebounds. This is exactly what you would like right now. He makes both free throws nice and easy. 37-36 now as it's within 1 point. So Dwayne Harris has it now. Right to left across your radio dial. Thank you for following along on Twitter Spaces and the YouTube side. Harris, extra pass Wilson for 3, picked up by Filipowski. And here comes Roach. Roach going to take his time a little bit. Duke's got an opportunity to take the lead, and it really doesn't seem all that likely considering the way that it started. But it's a 1-point game, 37-36. Getting a screen. Pass cross court. This is an open opportunity there for Proctor, putting his head down in a lob, if you want to talk about it. It's the first lead, 38-37 since 6-5 for the Blue Devils. Harris, pass now here for Kansas as they hook and make within 16 feet, and that was a good look there by Adams Jr. there as he knocked that one down. 39-38 for KJ Adams. 6 points, 3 of 3 shooting. And they need that right now. Sophomore out of Austin, Texas, 6'7". Again, a lot of 7-footers for Dirk to use right now, but you haven't seen a lot of them. And Roach with a 3-pointer. Off the screen, 41-39. Gives Duke a 2-point lead. Harris. It's a 9-2 run for Duke right now. Trying to get inside the lane beautifully are the Jayhawks. Tying this one at 41. So Roach will get this one from Proctor. Roach gets the screen as he tries to get around Gradey Dick. Extra pass across. Jump stop inside the lane and finish nicely by Duke. And that was picked up there by the Mark Mitchell, small forward. So Pettiford. Wilson with the hook, and he missed it off with the floater. Filipowski had so much spacing, he missed it all anyway. And now there's a chance for Roach, probing his way inside. Nice knock away, but he gets it back. Roach needs some dribble help. So he's going to call some timeout. He doesn't want to throw the possession away, and that should make Jon Scheyer pretty happy because he made the work. He got the possession back, and he was smart enough to take the timeout and not force anything. Duke's got the lead. 43-41. This should be a good finish. Maybe it'll be as good as the Kentucky-Michigan State game. Let's find out together, shall we? Commercial break. Come right back.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Nuts.com. When my grandfather started this business in 1929, he relied on 4 important items: freshness, quality, variety, and service. I'm proud to carry on this legacy in a bigger space. We sell freshly roasted, seasoned, and dipped delicious nuts here in New Jersey and deliver them with fresh striped weeks, snacks and sweets to families that love our products all around the country, including mine. We think you'll love Nuts.com too, so check us out and enjoy free shipping on your first order.
Are you suffering from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, or back? Here's Emmitt Smith, football legend and all-time leading rusher.
My job took a toll on my body, but I'm
not giving it to the pain, and neither should you. There's a new game when it comes down to relief from agonizing joint pain, and that's QC Kinetics.
Introducing QC Kinetics Joint and Bone Health, an all-new drug-free daily supplement that promotes joint health, joint comfort, and joint mobility. The natural way to provide your body with joint care and find relief so you can stay active. Joint and Bone Health was developed by QC Kinetics.
Appreciate anyone that's followed along in between Twitter Spaces and the YouTube side. Quick reset there. Jeremy Roach, he's starting to get a little bit of a roll there. It's a 14-8 run to start the second half side there for the Duke Blue Devils. Got 11 points. I know not all this stuff is updated. Kyle Filipowski, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Mark Mitchell, 3 points, 2 rebounds. Tyrese Proctor, 7 points, rebound and assist. 5 for Jalen Blakes, 4 for Ryan Young, 4 for Dereck Lively in the second. And on the other side for Kansas, 14 points for Jalen Wilson. Gradey Dick's got 7. Dajuan Harris with 4. Kevin McCullar with 8. He's got a 3 from both corners. KJ Adams with 6. Ernest Tuda Jr. has got a couple of blocks, and so does the rest of the Kansas Jayhawks defense. They got 7, and they've also drawn 5 offensive fouls / turnovers there for Duke as well. So it's been pretty active across the board there.
This may rival ice cream and rum. Don't get crazy, but all right, I won't get crazy. Enjoy. It's not a bad idea. This is at least your second trip cocktail in as many years of the day. He'll be back with us in the.
Ooh, that's gonna burn. That's gonna burn, Jay. They're not showing it. Throwdown on the other way by Filipowski. On the other side, I wanted to say, coming back in from the break, they're showing that because they're at Gamer Fieldhouse, and they're showing St. Elmo's with the shrimp cocktail, and Jay Billis took a huge bite of it, so they don't show between the mix of the horseradish and all that sauce that his eyes are watering. I'm sure they're showing that. I wish they would have come back to that. If you never went to St. Elmo's, this is my point in the broadcast to go and tell you to do that because it's absolutely excellent. So when you're at Gamebridge, you watch the game, then you go right to St. Elmo's when that stuff is done. Filipowski off the give and go, just absolutely posterizing the Jayhawks defense as we go back into the timeout one more time. It is 45-41. Duke now up by 4. I know it's going to be a little more quiet here tonight because now people are usually probably as big on college basketball side, but it'll be a couple assignments here for me tonight. I'll pull up the Facebook side for anyone else that's in here just to let you know what the upcoming assignments are because I know people are jumping in on YouTube just in case you ever want to figure out what I'm covering and what we're going to be doing here. So give me 1 second. So this is just going to be the assignment side for the week. We already went through the New York Islanders and the Ottawa Senators. There was a 5:30 yesterday. We got Duke, Kansas tonight. Again, a little bit later start because the Kentucky-Michigan State game went in double overtime and the Spartans get the win. Tomorrow I'll be back on 9:30 Eastern. I imagine there's no other tournament part of it, so should be same time between the Zags and Texas Longhorns. Thursday will be a hockey assignment, either with Cooper Hopkins at 7 p.m. Eastern, or if it's not, between Calgary and Tampa Bay, I will cover the Colorado Avalanche and the Carolina Hurricanes. Friday is going to be an off day, and Saturday will either be Vegas, Edmonton at 10 p.m. or Calgary, Florida. But if I have something going on Saturday as far as local coverage, I might have to actually leave the house to do that, to cover like a semi-pro hockey game on Saturday. If that all goes through, I got to make sure that all goes through first. So if I do that, I won't be on Saturday. But let's give you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday coverage, and then we'll figure out as far as the weekend goes. But I won't be on the Friday side.
Go to work with our sustainably designed reusable filter cup to deliver optimal freshness
without the waste.
So I just wanted to let everybody know, tomorrow I will be back for Gonzaga and Texas, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Thursday will be a hockey assignment, either Calgary, Tampa Bay with Cooper Hopkins, or it'll be Colorado, Carolina at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Coverage begins at 3 Eastern on ABC, the ESPN app, and part of our coverage team is Holly Roach. What do you got this game?
I'm so excited. These two teams have history together. Of course, Stanford knocking South Carolina out 2 years ago to win the
So 14-44, we'll have to go in the second half. Duke is now up by 4. This has been a good back and forth contest, though, but I will still stand on this. Kansas wouldn't even be as close as they are if it wasn't for their great defense, especially from what they showed in the first half. They're going to need to find a way to tap into this and maybe get a little bit more offense going. Roach now Filipowski as he puts his head down. Can't draw the foul. Block aside the other way by Uda again as this stays with Duke. That's his third block. It's the 9th block of the Jayhawks so far right now. So the defense, again, keeping them in it. Picked up off of the nice little jump pass off the inbound. And Filipowski makes the shot. 47-41 as Kyle Filipowski now has 11. So Pettiford will play this for Dwayne Harris. Harris with the floater knocked away. So good defense by Duke there with the block on that side. As that was Dereck Lively. Again, he's one of the top ESPN recruits. So that was the first block for Duke right now. And the Kansas block count is up to 8 at this point. I don't think that's been updated as far as the ESPN side correctly. So Harris now for Wilson. Wilson at the top of the key. 5 seconds to work with on the shot clock after the previous block. Chance for Harris. Got to put his head down. Get to the rim. Hits it off the high glass. It bounces off Filipowski. Now Roach has a chance here for Duke. So against Pettiford is Roach. Wilson covers his man, and this goes back here to Roach. Roach has played this entire game right now. See if he starts to wear down as he gets knocked away. Good defense there. Pettiford put it on the Jets. Right to left across the timeline. I'm going to leave here for Wilson. Wilson. Euro step. Reverses through the lane and lays it in. 47-43. Jalen Wilson. 16 points on 8 of 16. 50%. Mitchell. Mark Mitchell. We'll leave this down here for Proctor. Proctor has it now toward the right wing side. Cross-court pass. Here's a chance for Roach for 3. Open on the left wing side. Good rebound for Mitchell. Picks it up off the second chance and slams it home. 49-43. Blue Devils got a 6-point lead. 12:45 left to go in the second. Mark Mitchell, nothing in the first half. Has got 5 in the second half for the Blue Devils. Chance here. Wilson falling away. Missed it short. This goes back to Harris. Harris now needs some help off the dribble. Gradey Dick has it at the top of the key. I'm going to leave this here for Pettiford. Wilson now to Pettiford. Pettiford open. Floater from 8. Knocks it down. 49-45. That's a beautiful shot whenever you can get that floater game going. And Kansas needs to get this offensive game going. Bobby Pettiford now, 2 points, 1 of 2. Roach now to Proctor. Proctor will get the screen for Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews down the lane, throws it down. 51-45. Duke up by 6 as Mitchell throws it down. 7 points in the second half. Pettiford. Nice work off the lane with the help of Harris. Lays it in. 51-47. Back within a 4-point game. And here's a chance for Roach now. Proctor for 3 from the right wing. Missed it off the front of the rim. And that's rebounded by Wilson for the Kansas Jayhawks. Harris. He wants the signals here for KJ Adams. Gives it back now to Wilson. Adams with the screen. Wilson. Euro steps through the lane. Gets his own miss. Picks it back up. All kinds of contact. Filipowski knocks it away. No call. Blue Devils. Dribbles down the lane. Euros and lays it in. Count it and 1. Duke has got the opportunity to go up 54-47. It hasn't updated on the scoreboard side. Are they going to not count this here because it needs to move? We are going to get immediate timeout. It is a 4-point lead for the Duke Blue Devils as it stands right now because I didn't see that move. But it will be Duke ball when we come back in from the break. Stay tuned.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early morning, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises. Time to steal Christmas.
This game will get mad and beat you up. And what you need to know is you better
It's a Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created. It's Subway's biggest refresh yet.
I remember the day you asked, "What now, Dad?" So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course, you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
I don't like to spend a ton of time shopping, but I like to look good. For me, Poshmark makes that so easy. And whenever I get tired of something, I just relist it back on Poshmark. It's honestly a little addicting. Making some money I can spend to keep my wardrobe fresh.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at tonight's Sonic Blockbuster. And it was from the first game between Michigan State time and time again. Finding a way to force another overtime eventually with out of bounds underneath Malik Hall with a slip to the basket. Worried about the cutters, but he just slips in. And then a brilliant out of bounds play to go length to the court.
We're going to be coming back from commercial break. It'll be 51-47 your score, Duke Blue Devils. With the basketball, they got a 4-point lead. They've had a 22-14 run in the second half. That's what's given them this 4-point lead. Kansas won the first half 33-29. Duke has the basketball now with Proctor. On the right wing side, as ESPN wants to zoom out this camera. Filipowski with the screen. Extra pass there for Roach. Roach gets canceled off. KJ Adams and Wilson picked up now by Duke. Going to shoot this here for Proctor off of 16 feet off the front of the rim. KJ Adams. This gets picked up here by Pettiford. Pettiford, extra pass. And Wilson's going to hit this off the short side, a little too strong. Picked up here by the Jayhawks. Cutting down the lane is McCullar and lays it in. 51-49. Roach speeding the other way. He drops off a pass for Young. And Duke answers with the basket. 53-49. Still a 4-point lead for the Blue Devils. Pettiford. There's a chance for Wilson on the right wing side. Pass across around the horn. Picked up now by Harris. He's getting the floater game, trying to get that going. It's off the front of the rim. And rebound now as Proctor's got it. Crossing the timeline, left to right across your radio dial. There's going to be substitutions. Get set in the next head bowling for Duke. Young putting his hand down. It gets stripped away nicely. Kansas has numbers. Here's a chance there for Harris. Missed off the front of the rim and cleaned up by McCullar. Back to a 2-point lead, 53-51. And now we may get a timeout. Just want to make sure there was some inadvertent whistle. 9:47 as the refs are making sure we're going to get some substitutions in. and it's back within 2 points now, 53-49. 53-51, I should say, as my score did not update on this side, so apologize on the YouTube for the misspeak. Twitter Spaces and YouTube, that's where we are right now. If you want to follow along, it's at John Reinhardt, and between Facebook, Twitter, and the YouTube side. Again, it will be another college basketball assignment tomorrow. It'll be Gonzaga and the Texas Longhorns. Filipowski, top of the key to Roach. He gets a screen there from Young. So both the 7-footers pretty much out there right now. Saying pretty close to it on the other side for Young. Young, cut off. Here's an extra pass here for Blakes. This misses off the front of the rim. And here's a chance now for Harris. Harris, right to left across your radio dial. Harris putting his head down. Now extra pass across. A good lay-in there opportunity for an and one for Wilson. That's what the call is. I didn't see where the foul was, but Kansas has an opportunity to make it 54-53. So Harris, he almost lost the ball, and then splitting the lane off the Euro step was Wilson. So Wilson, again, the only returning starter from the championship squad that featured David McCormick and a host of others. Wilson's back out there having to play some heavy minutes, and he's doing quite well. Kansas Jayhawks with an opportunity to take the lead once more with 9:12 left to go in the second half. He completes the and one. Jayhawks back up by 1, 9:05 left to go in the second half. John out here with you from the Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Anyone that is in Indianapolis, Indiana right now needs to go to St. Elmo's right after this game is done. Tell you that. Get that shrimp cocktail, as they mentioned, because it's quite good. 21 points and 10 rebounds for Jalen Wilson. So heavy numbers, heavy production, much like Oscar Sheboy for the Kentucky Wildcats, but he got fouled out. Michigan State Spartans won in double overtime in our first game. This is the latter half that was supposed to start at 9:30 Eastern, but it started about 10:30 Eastern because that first game went into double OT. 9:02 left to go in the second half. It's been a game that has been hotly contested. Again, Kansas trying to storm back a little bit. They had a 33-29 lead going in the half. Duke Blue Devils outscoring the Jayhawks 24-21 in the 1-1. Gives Duke another opportunity at the line. As you get a look at Wilson right now, again, he's had some heavy production. And we'll see if this next free throw is going to get knocked down here by Proctor. So he makes them both. Duke is back up by 1. 9 minutes left to go in this second half. Again, 5 fouls in college basketball, 2 halves, and if we go to OT, it'll be a 5-minute quarter. Pass inside, as they were trying to find before that Zuby Ejiofor, and then an extra bounce pass there for Wilson, trying to hit a cutting, I believe, Dajuan Harris, and that one got knocked away, and that was last touched off of Kansas inadvertently. So careless pass at a time when it's a 1-point game. That cannot make – I know Bill Self is not in the building, but the backup coach is very happy on that side. Proctor, he's got 3 fouls. Has it knocked away, picked back up. Here's a chance for Roach as he passes this one inside. It's hotly contested. Filipowski gets contested away at the rim. That's the 9th block for the Jayhawks. Kansas wants to travel. Filipowski was flexing his muscles like he made the basket. Now he's doing one of these with the little smirk face across. He was doing the flex like he made one, and it ended up not being a basket. So it's one of those like Nick Young situations when you make the jumper and you look away. That's kind of one of those situations where you flex, he thought he made it, but he did. He traveled with the basketball, and it was good defense there by Ejiofor and Wilson. Zebby Ejiofor and Wilson to be able to make him do that. And again, I also think that was partially blocked. One of those situations where if you want to go ahead and say double-digit blocks there for Kansas Jayhawks, maybe you're a block or 2 behind the accurate number, but that wouldn't necessarily be wrong. It's without that blocking effort, without the offensive foul call effort, and Kansas's sure defense, this would not be a game that's as close as it is, as they're looking at this over and over and over again on that side. Just want to make sure maybe they'll go ahead and check this. As Filipowski can't believe it because they've shown the replay about 7 times. And again, all I really see is just good defense on one side and a charge, really, or a push-off. But we'll see if that's actually going to be the official call. So right now it shows Duke in the bonus. Filipowski has 13 points and 3 fouls, 9 rebounds. So offensive foul is what they have right now. As you get a chance to look at the Jayhawk mascot, Michigan State jersey also in there. In Gamebridge Fieldhouse Classic. Hopefully, I would say if you bought tickets for this, you get a chance to get both games. And if you did, that's pretty cool. And you go ahead and get a chance to get some good food because Indianapolis, Indiana is a pretty fun town, actually. It's always home for a lot of college basketball, big-time games. Gamebridge Fieldhouse has seen a lot of good stuff there across the years. So here's a chance now for Bobby Pettiford. This is picked across by Wilson. Inside now, off the switch, Harris. Going to need some help off that dribble. Pettiford down the lane. Extra pass, KJ Adams should be able to lay this in. He missed it short, but he traveled instead. That should have been an easy one. That was Zebi Ejiofor, actually, that missed it. That was a bad travel there on the other side, but turnover. It's going to be Duke basketball. 8 minutes left to go in the second half. 14 turnovers for Duke, 13 turnovers for the Jayhawks. Being pretty close to crunch time pretty soon. Nice block against Roach, but this will stay. Zebi Ejiofor with his second. 7:51 left to go in the second half. 11 block shots here for Kansas. We're going to get a commercial timeout. 55-54 is your score. Duke with the lead. Hey, Tech and Gadgets, I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for following along in the nice message. I will be here tomorrow. It should be an earlier start for Texas and Gonzaga. And then Thursday will be an assignment either with Cooper Hopkins for Calgary and Tampa Bay or Colorado, Carolina. That'll be at 7 Eastern. Saturday, I initially had an assignment planned. I had a friend that asked me if I could call some semi-pro hockey near the house in Michigan. So if that happens, it would just be for home games. So I wouldn't be gone every weekend. But maybe Saturday I will be gone on an actual personal assignment, whether it's pay or not. So I won't be on the Saturday side. I'll be calling some semi-pro hockey, possibly. I got to get that stuff squared away. So this would be nice to get a good start there on that side because, you know, it's fun to do this stuff on YouTube, and I appreciate everyone that follows along. If you have followed along, again, I wish I could have done both games, but if I did, honestly, then my throat would probably be quite sore. But if you had followed along on the State Farm's Champion Classic, you have been a treat in 2 games right now because Kentucky and Michigan State, that was an absolute instant classic. There really isn't any other word to say it. MSU won 86-77. Joey Hauser had 23 points and 8 rebounds. Willie Cole finished with 18 and 4 for the Spartans. Oscar Shigwe was fouled out in the first overtime, but he still ended up with 22 points and 18 rebounds. He's going to be one of the top-tier big men in college basketball to still get 22 and 18 and fall in the first overtime. That's pretty good. How about this for a stat line? If you haven't followed Cason Wallace, and again, I'm going to have to keep my eyes and ears perked up for that, his stat line for the Wildcats, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 steals, and a block. Yes, you heard that right. 8 steals for Cason Wallace. Absolute terror on the defensive end, and we'll see if he can pick that one up as we go along. Votes as we follow along. I just watched that change in real time. That's pretty cool. Do the Blue Devils beat the Jayhawks tonight? 4 of you say yes. 1 of you say no. You're looking for Kansas to get repeat opportunity there on the championship. That hasn't happened since, like, what, 95? Not 95. Last time was the Florida Gators. I think that was 05 there with, I want to say, Joakim Noah. I think that was the last time on that side of it. So it really is, for me, I will say this, it's really difficult, and I'm glad I haven't said this throughout the broadcast, to not call Coach Jon Scheyer Coach K, because he's not there anymore. Jon Scheyer has been with the program for a long time. Just Rennet says, yeah, I believe so. It's been a while for sure. I appreciate that on that side. I'm going to pull up the rest of my rosters here on this side, and we'll get back into the official action. So 3-pointer in from the break here by Duke. This gets knocked away. picked up by Kansas off the fast break. Wilson's pretty much played every minute as well. Again, he's the only returning starter for the Kansas Jayhawks from last season's championship squad. Harris. It's going to settle this around the horn now as they're going to double look there at Jon Scheyer. Wide open on the right wing side, but Kansas doesn't elect to shoot. Dump inside. Wilson's going to shoot this. He's going to miss it off the edge of the backboard from McCullar. And now 55-54, Duke with the basketball. They got the lead by 1. About 7 minutes left to go in this second half. We'll see what the Blue Devils can do with it. It's been a back and forth second half affair, but it's been Kansas's defense with 11 blocks and 5 offensive foul calls that have kept them largely within this game. And yes, you heard that correctly. Proctor pass for Mark Mitchell. Mitchell trying to get down the lane. He got blocked again. Fast break opportunity. It's a 3-on-2. Putting the head down. Is this going the other way? Yes, I believe it is. Adams Jr. going to be called for the offensive foul. Kansas doesn't like it. We'll see how long Gradey Dick is going to sit for the Kansas Jayhawks. He's been pretty good as far as making some shots, but a lot of them haven't been from 3. They've been attacks at the rim and a reverse underneath the basket. We know about this guy's 3-point opportunity, but again, so does Jon Scheyer and Duke. I don't want him to get going really. Spin there by Mitchell off the front. This is going to get picked up now. Harris has Wilson. He's going to back this one out instead. 20 seconds left to go on the shot clock and to give to Wilson. And now Harris will back this up with the State Farm Champions Classic logo just about half court. Shot clock down to 12. Harris with the hook. This is picked up by Filipowski. Filipowski will settle this down and give this here to Roach. Roach trying to get around the screen. Filipowski's open. He made one shot already. Spin move. He tries to shoot this, pick it back up himself, lays it in. Filipowski with the second effort, 57-54. 5:45 left to go in the second half. Duke up by 3. Both teams 2-0 on the season, but respectively, both teams haven't really played anybody yet until now. Wilson for 3. Missed it off the front of the rim, a little long. And now Duke has a chance to go up by as much as 5 or 6. 5:30 left to go in this second half. It's been a good contest between these two teams right now. Duke, large edge at the free throw line, 13 out of 15. Kansas just 2 of 4. Spin move. Filipowski, extra move there for Young, and he traveled with his feet. So you got Filipowski and you got Young. Filipowski's about 7 feet. Young's about 6'10". So you got the size. I think the largest roster player on Kansas is 6'8". And they also have 2 other over 7 feet guys that are on the bench here for Duke. So a lot of one and dones you would imagine. A lot of sizes they can use at their disposal. This Filipowski is a 7-foot freshman. Kansas gets the ball. Had to be protected there with Wilson, but he walked with it. No chance, because if he would have had to go ahead and put the ball down, it would have got knocked away from him. So I understand what Wilson was trying to do there, but good defense by Duke to cancel that off. 15 turnovers for the Blue Devils now and 14 for Kansas. About 5:07 left to go in this second half. Good contest so far between two teams that you would expect to do some damage in the tournament per usual. But we'll see how long this goes. Right now, this is a game that we can go ahead and watch these rotations and see where that goes. Good defense in midair. Kansas again, somehow Roach able to maintain the basketball as this goes back to Proctor. He's got 5 seconds to work on the shot clock, trying to get around McCullar with the spin. Beautiful dish inside, and Young missed the buddy. Gets it back and lays it in. 59-54 now. Duke with a 5-point lead. Harris. Gradey Dick now on the right wing side. Jump stop. He's got the pink shoes on too. So the names and everything else that you could use for Gradey there, he's got all the memes, I would imagine. Timeout's going to be called there by Kansas. 59-54 is your scores. The Blue Devils got the lead. We get to a timeout. We'll be right back after the commercial break. Jason Tatum clapping the hands right now as he's pretty happy about it. And again, this tournament's going to show a lot of NBA scouts right now. I know they showed that in the first game between Sam Presti, who you imagine. He's got the lottery tickets with the picks there for the Oklahoma City Thunder, among many others. So you get a chance to get some good lively scouting here and watch good entertaining basketball on both sides. So that's always going to be fun on that side. Let me give you a little bit of a score reset as well, just as far as everything else as we go into commercial break, because I see a few people on the YouTube side as we're in the commercial. I might as well go ahead and give you some updates. So let me go to the NHL side real quick. We'll go on the full scoreboard here. Just two games that are live. One of them is near and dear to my heart because you're listening to a guy broadcast from Michigan. Red Wings have a 2-1 lead over the Ducks, about 14:59 in the third. Tyler Bertuzzi made his return today. Sharks and Golden Knights tied at 2. Golden Knights trying to go to 14-3 on the season. Everything else has gone final. Preds 2-1 over the Wild. Columbus Blue Jackets get a big win over the Flyers. Flyers fall to 7-6-3. Blue Jackets win 5-4. Lightning win in overtime against the Stars as they continue their resurgence. They win 5-4. Stars fall to 9-5-2. Lightning 9-6-1. It's the Maple Leafs a 5-2 victory over the Pens. 6-7-3 is Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. New Jersey Devils, they've been the story of the year right now. I think that's winners of 10 straight now for New Jersey. 13-3 on the season as they knock off the Canadiens 8-7-1. And the Panthers beat the Caps 5-2. Canucks beat the Sabres 5-4. Sabres fallen off a little bit since that hot start. They are 7-9. See if we can get this to the NBA side very quickly before we cancel this off because there are a lot of NBA games to speak of. Knicks knock off the Jazz 118-111. Mavericks hold on behind Doncic effort 103-101 against the Clippers. 113-102 for the Pelicans over the Grizz. 135-102. Kings are going to beat the Nets. And the Spurs hold on to a 6-point lead over the Trailblazers 106-100, but still plenty of time left in that one. 6-13. So that's a quick look for everybody there as we're going to get back into our action. 4:27 left to go in this second half. It's a 59-54 lead for Kansas. They're up against it right now. They need some points. Wilson going to back away to the State Farm Champion Classic logo. Again, that's about half-court side as he gives it to Dwayne Harris. Now back to Wilson. Wilson being hounded. 4 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Has to fade inside off the hook and hits it anyway off glass. 59-56 as we're down to 4 minutes left to go in the second half. Roach now to Mitchell. Young picks this up now for Proctor on the right wing side. This goes back now to Roach. Roach gets a screen there from Young, but he's going to back it away instead. Duke going to take their time. Young thought about shooting the three, gives it to Filipowski instead off the front of the rim. And now McCullar gets the rebound. McCullar with the outlet pass here for Wilson, putting his head down again, trying to get to the rim. Nice rebound there by KJ Adams. Keeps it alive again. Harris down the lane. Shot here for Wilson off the front of the rim. And picked up now by Mitchell. Duke still up by 3. 59-56. 3:15 left to go in the second half. John on here with you from the State Farm Champions Classic. We're broadcasting this from ESPN in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Roach gets the switch against Grady Dick. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Grady's about 6'8". All he's got to use is that outstretched arm, but a good rebound there by Young. Filipowski now takes his time as Duke is going to bleed this clock away. Grady's going to knock it away, and it's going to go Kansas basketball. So good job there by Grady Dickey. All he had to do was put the outstretched arm. He's got 6'7" advantage over the 6'1" Roach. He put the outstretched arm and then he knocked it away. So big defensive effort. And that's really what spelled the help there for the Jayhawks right now is Dereck Lively. We'll go ahead and check in as Young is going to take a seat. Dereck Lively is one of the top recruits on the ESPN U side when I saw that. So Wilson inside. Hook and miss. Tapped in by Kansas. 59-58 is McCullar. Gets them within 1. 2:30 left to go. And now we get a timeout on the floor by Jon Scheyer. It's 59-58. And when we come back, we'll get ever closer to finishing this off. Are we going to have overtime? Are we going to have double overtime is the question. We got that in game numero uno between Kentucky and Michigan State. We'll see what happens with this when we come back. I appreciate you guys bouncing in and out as always on the YouTube side. So we had 8 votes in between the Blue Devils and the Jayhawks. It said, did the Blue Devils beat the Jayhawks tonight? 75%, 25%. 75% of you say yes, that the Blue Devils get the win. It's a 1-point game right now. So both games of this classic have been really good. And as I've said, going into this broadcast would probably be over right now. Maybe you wouldn't even have as many of you in there, because it was supposed to start an hour earlier, but the first game went into double OT. So a little bit later, as you see one of the baby fans there for the Kansas Jayhawks completely passed out. And I don't blame her. It's really past the bedtime right now. So pick up here by Duke. As Duke has got it now, Andrews dribbled it off his foot. Turnover here. There's a fast break opportunity. Gradey Dick with the extra pass. McCullars. They're going to launch for 3. He cans it off the backboard. 61-59. Gradey Dick with the biggest shot of the game so far. That's his first from 3. 10 points on 1 of 4 from distance. It's a 2-point lead for the Jayhawks. Roach being doubled. Proctor almost lost it. Gives it to Roach. Roach open. Cans the 3. Back-to-back triples on both sides. 62-61 now. 1:50 left to go in the second half. Duke up by 1. 14 points for Jeremy Roach. That's his first triple. Gradey Dick with the crossover. Now gives it to Harris. Harris at the top of the key. Rob for Gradey! Off the backboard on the side, and he lays it in. 63-62. So how about that? The 3-pointer on both sides, and then a lob for the shooting guard. He is 6'7" after all. Roach down the lane. Is he going to draw the offensive foul again? Kansas draws it for the 6th time, and they also have 11 blocks. That's why they're leading 63-62. And yes, you heard that correctly. Kansas's defense has been exceptional. Did Harris get there in time? They certainly said that he did. That one wasn't as shuffling of the feet as it was before. I will say that openly. Harris crosses the timeline. McCullar off the spin now with Wilson. Gives it back to Harris. 1:10 left to go. KJ Adams, he needs some help. Gradey Dick is contested. Euro steps and lays it in. My goodness, he's making some contested baskets. Now Roach, as Duke is down by 3. We're down to 55 seconds left to go in this second half. Screen there by Filipowski, still with Roach, getting down the lane. Has to double clutch to the contact, but they say no. Wave off the basket. It's still going to stay with the Blue Devils. 48.4 seconds left to go as KJ Harris needs to shake off either a knee bump or something with the leg, as they are zooming in on feet right now. That's all I see. 65-62 as Harris looks to be cramped up a little bit as he took a little contact. So this should be Blue Devils basketball. Boy, oh boy, have these two games been absolutely spectacular. There really isn't any other superlative to use. It's accurate on this side of it. We'll see how this one finishes. So Roach is at the line. He missed the first. It was a 1-and-1. That is a poor time to miss. Kansas now can bleed the clock a little bit more. Shot clock at 20 seconds. Game clock at about 38. McCullar now here for Harris. It's a 3-point lead for Kansas. They got the basketball. Wilson going to take his time as he passes this back to the point guard here inside. KJ Adams. Count the basket and the foul. That could be the death blow. 67-62. Kansas took their time. It was a simple cut for KJ Adams. Nobody met him at the rim, and he was able to lay that over the smaller defender. And Kansas now up by 5. Good work there, at least by Roach to contest, but no chance for him. And now KJ Adams, see if he can complete the and one. He missed it. So 67-62. Duke's got to hurry. They got a timeout, though. Roach, probe down the lane with the Euro step, gets the quick basket. It's now 67-64. 15 seconds left to go. And a foul needed here by Duke. They get one. It's McCullar. Not yet in the limit, so Kansas will be able to kill a little bit more time, you would figure, off this inbound as they lead 67-64. Thank you guys for following me along on the YouTube side and the Twitter Spaces side. I've had a lot of fun. Again, I will be back with another college basketball assignment tomorrow between Gonzaga Bulldogs and the Texas Longhorns, as we're getting some college basketball assignments. It doesn't always have to be on the ice assignments. So I appreciate that. Roach, wow, that was a hard foul on the other side against Wilson, but he wanted to make sure. So now this should be free throw side, and the ref's going to make sure Blake's, hey, that was a little too much on the offensive foul. I'm not going to say run our test moment, but that was pretty close as he got the forearm shove in there. And now this should be bonus side of it. 3 consecutive fouls here by Duke. That's what they had to do. They need some missed free throws right now. It's a 67-64 lead for the Jayhawks. And again, when I go back to type this story, hopelesssportsguide.wordpress.com, and give you the reporter coverage here on this side, it's going to be a complete story for me as far as, yes, there's been some good scoring and some clutch play, but the defense by the Jayhawks, that's going to be my main moniker as far as that storyline. Wilson makes the first, so he's got another opportunity here. He can make this a 5-point lead. Jalen Wilson, terrific, 24 points, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, trying to be 3 of 4. Knocks it down. 69-64. Timeout, Jon Scheyer. That's the last for Duke. They got no more. And then if they can score within 9.2, they got to foul immediately. So I will stay with you here. I'm just turning off the recorder side of it. I appreciate you guys following along on the YouTube side. I since got busy toward the end. It's been a good treat so far in between these two teams. Hopefully Gonzaga and Texas will be that same kind of treat tomorrow. Again, Gonzaga is going to have another big game on Sunday, I believe. So for all the out-of-conference schedule, Gonzaga is going to get all their tough games out there earlier, and then they're going to cakewalk the rest of the way that they usually do. However, they got a chance to be able to get a national title championship before that, like they always do. It was Kansas with the one last year. Gonzaga from before on that side got close, so we'll see what ends up happening again. So Kansas leading scores, 25 points for Jalen Wilson on 11 of 26, I thought I saw. Hopefully it was 11 of 16, not 26. So last shot opportunity for Duke. Got to shoot it quickly as Proctor banks it off the glass. Going to get saved, trying to step back from 3 is Filipowski. He's going to miss it. And the Kansas Jayhawks get a 69-64 victory over the Duke Blue Devils and improved to 3-0 on the season. Duke takes their first loss. It's the first time these two teams have really played anybody of substance here tonight, but a good nightcap and a good classic in the State Farm Championships Classic in between these two teams. And let me just give you the final score really quick on the first one. It was MSU in double overtime against the Kentucky Wildcats, 86-77. Kansas won the nightcap. That's my coverage of the game, 69-64. They improved to 3-0 on the season. As always, guys, story will follow, and I will see you tomorrow for Texas and Gonzaga. That should be about 9:30 Eastern. Have a good one, everybody. Peace. Thank you. Just for it. Appreciate it, boss. Have a good one. We will see you tomorrow.